Good morning, everybody. It's Steve Brown from Mirae Securities, Mirae Live, Head of Institutional Sales, Vietnam. Joining us today, we have a very esteemed guest from UOB Asset Management, Mr. Chong, who's been with UOBAM for about 18 years, and also Ms. Lê, the CEO of UOB Asset Management Vietnam, started in Q1 2021 and about to launch their first and Vietnam's first ESG-focused fund, local invested fund for Vietnamese investors and international clients. Jiun and Lê, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Can you make a brief introduction about UOBAM and also the focus for investors in Vietnam?
Yeah, okay. First of all, thank you very much for having us today. About UOB Asset Management, we are headquartered in Singapore. UOB Asset Management is an Asian investment group with more than 35 years of providing investment solutions and services to customers in the region. We are wholly owned by UOB, one of the strongest banks in the world, as you know, and we have presence in 9 markets in Asia, including Vietnam. Currently, we manage our customers' assets of around 34 billion Singapore dollars. We are widely recognized with our consistent performance, commitment, and proven track record with numerous prestigious awards over the years. And for our customer in Vietnam, we are excited to bring our regional expertise and experience through innovative and ESG investment solutions in the coming time.
Very good. Now, moving on with that, you've been with UOBAM and UOB for about 18 to 20 years now. So you've probably got the best insight of anyone to tell us how you've been achieving your success.
Well, I suppose the 3 important points for UOBAM to achieve all this performance, consistency, and all the awards that we have won is strength. We have 90 plus, in fact, investment professionals in the region. About stability, we have been around more than 35 years, since 1986, and the scale that we have, 9 markets in this region where we have offices, and I believe this is supporting us to deliver the consistency in our performance and also the awards that we have won since 1986.
Now, sustainability, ESG, CSR, on everyone's lips. You're leading and at the forefront of that throughout your 9 markets, and you brought that philosophy into Vietnam now too, launching Vietnam's first ESG-focused fund. So with the sustainability as a strategic pillar, can you share more about that part of your asset management company's focus?
Okay. Well, sustainability is definitely a strategic pillar at UOBAM. Our vision is to be a trusted, asset manager in the region, leading in innovation and sustainability. In fact, one of the 4 strategic pillars that we have is focus on sustainability. That is to invest for both profit and purpose, so that we can deliver, better performance and to build for a better world for our generation. And of course, beyond that, we also look at, digitalization, innovation as another strategic pillar that we have, and also focusing on customer as the center of all our performance to be delivered, and also the customer experience at UOBAM.
Now, in recent weeks, you've been very busy, your team, with the IPO and launch of your first equity fund, local fund, the ESG-focused fund. Why did you decide to launch the ESG fund as your first fund in Vietnam?
As Jiun had just shared, at UOB Asset Management, we do believe in investing for profit and purpose. The group has offered sustainability and ESG investment solutions in the regions, and the solutions are well received by our customers. So we decided to launch an ESG fund in Vietnam as our first onshore products. to our customers in Vietnam.
And how do you integrate, therefore, the ESG metrics into your investment process?
Okay, I think the integration of ESG complements, the more conventional investment process, like your top-down coupled with the bottom-up research. And then the way we integrate ESG, in our process is in the following area: identify long-term ESG trends and opportunities, evaluate high-quality, high ESG companies that deliver sustainable growth, and also utilizing our investment technology, artificial intelligence and machine learning to enhance ESG evaluation and investment process. So the outcome is for us to be able to select companies that of high quality, of high growth, and also well valued to capture alpha opportunity.
I think it's also from a responsibility, social responsibility, and corporate responsibility point of view, incredibly important and critical for a country like Vietnam, that you're leading the charge actually in this area, because a lot of corporates will want to become eligible in time to be a stock that's able to be put into your ESG fund. So they will be fast tracking, their CSR,
yep,
ESG, and all of their renewable energy platforms and so on for, the COP26 carbon neutral target that they've got for 2050 or before. Without this style of impetus, I think it would just kind of clunk along. So it's good to see corporates, internationally capable corporates, helping deliver, the environmental outcomes that the Vietnamese government and the COP26 participants are all hoping to strive to achieve. So it's a good thing to see.
Definitely.
From my point of view, it's the first that I've seen for Vietnam. So it's quite an achievement. Now, how do you look at the ESG from other fund houses? Is quite an important question, I think.
I think for Vietnam market, ESG investments is relatively new to most investors in Vietnam. However, ESG investment has been applied by most big asset management firms in the world, and in general, it is not new to investors globally. Investors nowadays, they look for investment solutions that can have direct or indirect sustainability impacts. So we do believe that investors in Vietnam will join their peers in other markets in embracing ESG investments. And for investment professional community in Vietnam, I think we also embrace this trend as well.
And that leads on to the next question, engagement activity. Can you enlighten us a little bit about how UOBAM is looking at that part of your service platform?
Well, I suppose the first question we need to ask is, what is engagement? Well, it's an active dialogue between investor and companies on ESG issue to achieve sustainable outcome. And then who is involved at UOBAM? We have dedicated ESG specialists in all our offices, working with the regional investment team, and then led by the Singapore Sustainability Office, which is a center of excellence. So what is the purpose of engagement? To leverage our Asian preference, our strong preference in ASEAN region, enhance return to identify sustainability winner, in the companies that we invest in, and drive positive change to encourage ESG disclosure and ESG practices, in the region and in all parts of Asia. And then last but not least, to enhance the profile of UOBAM, we are members of UNPRI, WWF, and also AIGCC. We work with industry leaders and also to meet regulatory reporting requirements.
So your regional offices can all collaborate together,
yes,
and they'll follow best international practice. When you're screening companies in Vietnam, the ones that are eligible, they could also then therefore become quite aware of other regional best practices, I would imagine, which across your regional offices, is that seen as something that you find the case where companies that you're screening, if they're in dairy or if they're in an energy provision or textile provision business, do they get a bit of collaborative shareholder activism counselling from your team regionally? Or because by definition, if you're ESG focused, you would be supportive, active shareholders through your fund management company to help them lift up their ESG capabilities, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our investment team in Vietnam has already started reaching out to our investee companies to try to increase the awareness and support them in any way we can in terms of ESG criteria. And as you probably already know that most companies in Vietnam, they're still trying hard to enhance their ESGs in their business. So I think it's a long way and long commitment from both asset management side as well as from corporate side. And I think the good thing for us is that, as Jiun has shared, we have established a proven ESG capability at regional level with our Center of Excellence in Singapore. So the team in Vietnam has received constant and strong support and guidance in ESG and in engagement with corporates in Vietnam. And we do hope that we will contribute our part in increasing awareness and practice of ESGs among corporates in Vietnam as well as investors.
Regionally, this has been very successful for UOBAM with the ESG platform for your funds. How do you think the participation will be received in Vietnam?
I think it's as I just mentioned, it will be a long journey. Need a lot of effort and commitment from both sides. But I do believe that is the right direction for everybody to participate and to contribute their part into that cause.
Mm-hmm. And do you see the outlook for the Vietnamese asset management industry in the next 3 to 5 years becoming the norm for this in part for the funds such as yourselves? Personally, I think you'll probably be joined by hopefully a chorus line of copycats who will be making sure that even if their funds aren't headlined as ESG, it'll be an underlying component that they'll have to bring on board. Your outlook for the next 3 to 5 years for Vietnamese funds?
I think we see that Vietnam's middle income and affluent class has rapidly risen in the last 10 years. And I believe that it will continue in coming years with the country's strong economic growth. And also in the last 3 years, I think you also noticed that we've seen a very strongly increased interest from retail investors for the stock market. So with this, demands for investment and wealth solutions has risen in tandem in Vietnam. Investors nowadays, they get more and more sophisticated and they look for professional services in managing their investment and wealth. So I think this creates a lot of opportunities for professional investment houses in Vietnam if they can offer customers with innovative, sustainable, and equally important responsible investment solutions. So yeah, I think the outlook is bright.
Yeah. And not only that, to support that, companies like ours who are transitioning from single stock advisory service to wealth management service, funds are a critical component of any client's asset allocation once you start getting into the more diversified and comprehensive client support. So I think overall, good timing, perfect timing actually. And Jiun and Le, thank you so much for being on Mirae Asset Securities, Mirae Asset Live. we hope to both see you soon, and you have a smorgasbord of exciting products from UOB Asset Management in the pipe to come, and I'm sure our viewers will be as equally excited to have you enlighten us in the coming months about UOB Asset Management Vietnam's new range of products coming out. Steve Brown from Mirae Asset Securities. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.